There's something I would like to ask you. Please. How come you never gave him prune juice?
Hello and good evening. Star Trek The Next Generation Season 4, Episode 2, Family, first aired back in 1990. But here in 2026 on Live Long and Podcast, we're just getting started. Whether you're joining us live on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, or catching the audio version wherever you get your podcasts, our mission to rewatch every episode of TNG continues, one family reunion at a time. And now this is your acting captain speaking. I'm your host, Heather Narduzzi. Our regular captain, Dave Mater, is certainly off rolling around a vineyard in the mud with his brothers. Let's break it all down with tonight's panel. She sees the ethics in every choice and the story in every silence. If family is a lesson in vulnerability, reconciliation, and the courage to face your past, she's already unpacking it. It's our quiz admiral, Ashley Millard.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Beaming in from Thunder Bay with the enthusiasm of a lifelong Trek fan, she's tuned into the emotional heart of family. The quiet courage it takes to face the people who know you best. She's charting every constellation of feeling. It's Allison Whately-Doucet.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Allison. Glad to have you both here this evening. This is the 76th episode overall of Star Trek The Next Generation, originally aired October 1st, 1990. Written by Ronald D. Moore, who we love very much. I speak for all of us. Directed by Les Landau. So while the Enterprise is undergoing repairs at Earth, Captain Picard visits his brother's family in France. Lieutenant Worf's adoptive human parents come to see him aboard the ship, and Dr. Crusher gives her son Wesley a personal holo recording left by his late father shortly after his birth. I had forgotten the Wesley and Jack Crusher subplot, but it was really nice to see that one. Let's get some overall impressions. What does everybody think of this episode?
It's always been one of my favorite TNG episodes. I absolutely love this episode. It's such a good episode to follow the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I feel like you get a view of characters and see kind of their awkwardness with family and their togetherness, right? They have different interactions that show you can overcome certain things in life.
Mm-hmm. I think it's lovely that we get to see Picard outside of the Enterprise in his ancestral home and being a little vulnerable and exploring, what might have been, right? And of course, the performances are so fine by both Patrick Stewart and the gentleman who plays his brother, which I do not have that info in front of me, but we may have for fun facts. So
I think it's in there.
Now I will just let our millions of viewers know that this is my first time hosting, so please bear with me if anything is a little wonky. Shall we dive into the screenshots and have a look at the episode?
Sounds great.
Yeah.
So we see the Enterprise in space dock, repair dock. It looks like a giant spider on top of the Enterprise.
Giving it a nice little hug.
Yes, the space hug spider.
The Enterprise went through a lot too. It also needs a hug after all of that. It has its own PTSD.
Yes, absolutely. And then, can I look at the next one? No, apparently I can't. Stand by, everybody. Talk amongst yourselves while I sort this out, please. Now, Ashley, you mentioned that you had some nitpicky things to discuss. Now, do you want to bring up a couple of those right off the bat?
I could. I was going to do it during the screenshots when we get to those scenes, just to mention them.
Yes.
But I mean, at the very beginning of the episode, when Worf goes in to talk to Riker, and Riker mentions Worf's parents are coming on board. Mm-hmm. Worf had no idea. And Riker says, "Did you not look at the visitor's manifest, like the visitor's log?" Well, he's the head of security. How has he not vetted everyone coming onto the ship? And then in a few years, he goes on to Deep Space Nine and calls my man Odo a bad chief security officer? Absolutely not. He's not even looking to see who is getting on the Enterprise after all of this stuff they went through with the Borg. Unbelievable.
He doesn't even know his own parents are coming.
Yeah. He should know everyone that's coming aboard the Enterprise.
Yeah.
That is a very good nitpick.
The first thing I thought of, because I just watched that episode not that long ago of Deep Space Nine, where he is, the first little bit when he's on Deep Space Nine, when he's going after Odo for not being a good security officer. And then I see and I'm like, oh, he's not even looking at who's coming aboard? That's one of his main jobs.
Yeah. Worf was really uptight in the first little while of Deep Space Nine.
This is true.
That is why they have so many incursions and imposters, actually. Well, that sounds about right. Now, I think I may have this figured out now. Let's find out. Oh. Good gracious. All right, y'all. We're on board. We're doing it.
Okay.
So now we have this. Riker is in the ready room, and Worf comes in to say that this conversation that they just had about how he was not aware that his parents were coming. And he looks super stoked about it. And Riker's like, dude, if you don't want to see your parents, I can make an excuse for you, basically. And they Worf does a lot of existential staring in this scene, like trying to come to grips with having to visit with his parents. His hair looks crazy in this scene.
It's like perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a hair out of place.
No. So Riker says, listen, if you don't want to see your parents, we can make an excuse, but this is not a Klingon ship. It's a Starfleet ship, and your parents have every right to come aboard. And Worf is like, well, I guess I'll see them. And then we have some feelings talk between the captain and Deanna. I really like this scene, and I know I shouldn't be objectifying the captain in his time of trauma, but I love it. I just love it when he wears like this captain's holiday V-neck Risa shirt.
Yes, like this isn't quite as good as the rolling around in the mud outfit, which is my favorite of Picard's outfits. But yes. I love when they put Picard out of uniform. Like when he gets, because it's always just the most flowy, like it's so the complete opposite of his uniform, and it's always he's got style.
He does. This man likes to relax in flowy linen garments.
Yes,
as one does.
As one does. And Troy's hair is looking gigantic. This
as usual.
Is as usual. This is a really nice scene, though. She's like, so going home to Labar probably doesn't have anything to do with you being assimilated, right? And he's like, no, definitely not. No, just a coincidence. Totally cool. And she is not buying it at all.
Yes, it
Does
does.
this make my head look bald?
It's great.
She looks absolutely stunning. Wow. She's terrific.
Yeah.
And I love this. He's like, I'm strong. I'm fine. In the least convincing display of fineness that anyone has ever done.
Every time I watch this episode, I wish we got more. I wish they had done more Troy and Picard stuff together. Like more, like, because they have a great conversation at the beginning of Generations. And when, you know, all of that stuff happens, I know I don't want to give away spoilers. I know it happened a million years ago, but they do so well together. And for considering she's on there as the counselor, they should have given her more counseling stuff with like good stuff like this, as opposed to just like Barclay's holo addiction.
Right. They really do give her something to do in this episode, and she does it so well. Like, this scene is wonderful and really speaks to the connection that they have, and that the function that she serves as the captain's right hand, you know, or left hand, I guess, depending on where they sit in the bridge. But they have this conversation, and he tries to assure her that he's fine. And then as she leaves him, gives him a smooch, and then he looks meaningfully. Well, you can tell he's tortured. He's still trying to get over it, even though I'm healed, I'm strong. And that's our cold open. Of course, he packed some books. Also, did we ever see this panel before? It's really cool.
I don't remember seeing it before or later, but now I feel like I'm going to have to watch out for it. We don't see his quarters very much.
No, because he's all business. Oh, meaningful look, fraught with meaning. And
I love that he picked up the books and he was like, I'm going to bring these books on vacation, and then left them, because you always want to bring 10 books on vacation and end up only reading a few pages.
Yeah. Which is why it's nice to have a Kindle, which I'm pretty sure they have in the 24th century.
I would.
No, they need one pad per book.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You can't have more than one file per pad.
It has all the memory of a 3.5 floppy disk. That's all they've got in the future. So we're back to the ship getting a space hug. And now Worf is in the ready room, ready to greet his parents. And I think this is such a fun scene, despite the casual sexism at the top of it. My mother is always late.
Yes.
And Miles is like, women, am I right?
It was the
that
90s.
was one of my other things to talk about. I'm glad you brought that up. I laughed when you said that. I forgot that he said that. And then also, quick fun fact about this episode. This is the first episode that Chief O'Brien gets a full name.
Really? And he got all the names. Miles Edward O'Brien.
That's right.
Yes. So that's the first time he gets it. That's nice. Good job, Miles O'Brien. Whoops, I put a hand on Worf's face. And this is where he's like, women. And Worf's like, oh my God, right? And then this is such a cute look on Worf's face.
Also, I feel like
pardon?
I feel like after meeting his parents, it would be his dad that is always late.
Yeah.
He's busy talking to somebody.
Yeah. Or looking at some schematic, or like he's just such a happy man who's all over the place. I feel like he would be the one that would just be in his own little world, and they're always running late because she's like, all right, let's go. Like, we gotta go.
Yeah, but then you couldn't have made a sexist joke about it.
That's right. But women, am I right?
Women, am I right? Oh. The look on Worf's face here, I find this so fun because I think it really gives the impression that no matter how old you are, sometimes you're just reduced to a kid when you're around your parents, whether you like that or not.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks like a little boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that little anxious glee.
Yeah, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or
So
anticipation. Yeah.
And I wore purple for Helena Rashenko this evening, but I couldn't get the big poofy hair like hers. This dress is lovely. I love it. Yeah. Really nice colors and the cut and everything. And what have they got Sergei in? The pants, the high-waisted pants are a problem in the 24th century, my friends. Ashley, I know you hate high-waisted Wesley pants.
Oh God, the Wesley ones are the worst.
I hate them so much. Wesley has a real uniform in this episode, though, but we'll get to that. So this is a very nice greeting. Also, why does she have these little like loopy braids sticking off? Is that like 24th century Russian chic? Who knows?
They all have to have weird hair in the future.
They do, yes. That is correct. And now he's making a face. Pardon?
That's why she's so late.
Her hair takes because forever. She was fussing with her hair, you know, women. Yeah. And I love this. This is cute.
Don't call me sir. I used to work for a living.
They're making friends. And now she's thinking about roque blood pie, I'm sure. This is very sweet, beaming at her son. Oh, so nice. And now, of course, he's letting everyone know that he has all the apps and schematics. And he, too, used to be a chief petty officer. And his mom's like, your dad, am I right? I think they're believable as a couple. Like, they have a really good chemistry. Yeah. He wants a tour, desperately. You know how Geordi loves giving tours. Here comes Picard in Le Bar. And this is a nice little scene, too. Peekaboo. They got the little boy they got to play, Renee, is adorable. Oh, hi.
So the little boy that plays Renee is the same actor that plays young Picard in Rascals.
Yes. That makes sense.
Yes, which is always... So I have argued, and I know that when he meets Murray, he says, it's nice to finally meet you. That's a lie. He's Renee's father. He looks way too much like a young Picard, that kid, to be his nephew. Oh! He's his dad, and that's why him and Robert are so mad at each other.
Oh my God, Ashley coming in hot with the family lore.
Listen, she's sending him correspondence and she's all, oh, stay here and work on the Earth. Yeah, that's because they're doing the dirty.
Well, also Robert is like 100 years old. So I feel like this is a credible theory. What do you think, chat? Do you think Picard is secretly Renee's father? I love it. That is a theory I had not considered, and I am here for it.
That's why Picard is so sad in Generations, and why he's with the rest of his kids in the Nexus.
Yes. Can I just say, without giving anything away, just to you two, nobody else listen who hasn't seen Generations, I think that that was sad. That was so cruel to do that to, so he could have feelings about it. Like, surely they could have come up with another, I don't know. Anyway, you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to talk about this without being spoilery. This is a really cute little scene where Picard says, oh, a highwayman. And Renee says, what's a highwayman? And then they have this little chat. And he carries his bag for him. And then they have the following conversation.
I know who you are.
Then you have the advantage.
You're my nephew, Jean-Luc, from the Starship Enterprise.
Then you must be my Uncle Rene.
I'm not your uncle. It's the other way around.
Too bad. I rather enjoyed the idea.
Why have you been away so long?
Well, Starfleet keeps me very busy.
Father says you don't like it here.
I'm sure you misunderstood.
No, I didn't. He said so.
Well, Robert and I, perhaps it's time to change all that.
You know, you don't seem so arrow, you know.
Arrogant?
Yes, arrogant. You don't seem that way to me. What does it mean anyway? Arrogant son of...
Let's talk about that later, shall we?
Cheeky. And then he runs off with his little backpack. And here comes his mother and Picard's paramour, perhaps? Marie.
This is where in front of Renee, they pretend they've never met.
Yeah, so hello, Marie. Nice
She looks pretty eager there.
What?
She looks pretty eager there. Look
She
at that.
does. Oh, hello. Person I've never met before in my life, ever.
It's a sexy shirt. So, right? Look. She's giving him
She's looking him up and down.
Girl. And Renee is like, what is going on here? Is this like I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus situation? He's looking at her very fondly. I love this theory. I'm here for this. This is amazing. Her hair, though, is so poofy. It was the 80s and everything was such poof.
It really was.
And they have a conversation about, she says, does it look that different to you? And he says, I'm surprised at how the same it looks. And she says, well, Robert has gone to great difficulty to ensure that. And then Renee says, are you my real dad? And Picard's like, no. Okay, that didn't happen. But in my head.
This episode is a little more sad after watching Picard and knowing what he went through in his childhood at this home.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And he plays it really well. And Troy, they did the same thing with Troy to have the pantyhose and the shoes and the dress, the whole thing. Was
all
that
the same color?
In the 80s, like this monochromatic palette? Or did they think that's how people were going to dress in the future?
They must have thought that's how people would dress in the future.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was a bit of a thing, but not to this extent.
No. Well, Renee is very happy to meet his nephew. And now Picard is going to go out and see Robert, who's just like a wild animal eating handfuls of grapes out in the vineyard. That's how vintners test their vintage, right? Just like
jamming it.
Yeah. Now, do we believe that these men could be brothers?
I mean, visually, I would say more like his grandfather.
He does seem much older.
Yeah, like at least 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Perkins agrees.
Perkins agrees.
He's old.
Now Robert greets him anything but warmly and is like, well, you know where everything is. I got to eat these grapes or whatever. So bye. And Picard is kind of taken aback by this. You'd think when was the last time he was home? 20 years ago? So not the warmest welcome from his brother. And he just goes on his way. And this is a really nice shot of the actual vineyard then melded into what I can only imagine is a matte painting, right?
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. I like the spires that they added. I think that looks really neat.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of
just a prediction of modern and old farm life.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if in Fun Facts we will find out where this was shot. Now we have Troy and Crusher and Perkins singing songs. Is this Crusher quarters? Must be.
It looks like Crusher's quarters.
I think it is. And this guy just brings her this case, and which we linger on and see that it is Jack Crusher's things from the Stargazer. As we know, the ship that he was killed while serving on and that Picard was the captain of. So she takes out his old uniform and has a look at it, and Troy asks her, what's up with this? And she said, oh, I just had it in storage and thought I would get it since we're back in Earth. And then they find this wonderful treasure.
How to advance your career through marriage.
Every woman's delight, how to advance your career through marriage. And Crusher, with this face, tells you what she thinks of this. It was a joke between.
It is a cute way for Jack to have proposed to her.
That is cute, yes, for sure. And she obviously remembers it very fondly and is going through these things with like a bittersweet feeling, I think. It's been a long time since she even thought about this, she said. And now she has a little flash drive that Jack made for Wesley. And they talk about how it might feel for Wesley to see this and if it might do more harm than good. But Troy says, you know, he's about his father that you can't really answer. So Crusher decides she's going to give it to him. And Wesley, she says later in the episode, your father wanted you to have this when you turned 18, which I think Wesley is by now, right?
I think so. Well, he was 14 in the first season.
Yeah, and this is the fourth season.
So this is season 4. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So now they're down in engineering where they are making snow cones, apparently. I like the office chair in the background. That it's nice to know office chairs didn't change in the next 500 years. I like this view of engineering, though. We don't often get to see like this kind of side corridors of engineering. We usually just get that big table that they all congregate around, the heads-up display.
And they're under construction right now, so you would think that things would be kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're getting the space hug. So now they're trying to... Geordi is thrilled to be hearing all these stories about Worf. And Sergei is telling about when Worf was a young fella and bloodied 5 teenagers' noses. And Geordi is eating it up. Worf, not so stoked about this. Look at his mom. She's like, this is not great, husband. Please.
He's not going to like this. She would tell these stories, but she knows he's not going to like it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. It's not that she doesn't like the stories or find them cute. She's just like,
she knows he's uncomfortable.
This place of work. You can't be in there telling baby stories at somebody's workplace. It's not cool, Sergey. He's like, oh, my bad. Sorry. Geordi wants to hear more stories. Worf is like, let's get out of here, please. And I think this is where he's talking more about having all the specs and such and pointing out different things. Anyway, everyone's having a lovely time here in engineering. Geordi can't wait to tell him more things. What is this bizarre? Is that a stool? Is that a future stool?
It's a chair of some sort, looks like.
Yeah. Well, I hope Sergei has the specs for that one too.
Oh, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he knows how to build it.
Yeah, no doubt. Then he says, as soon as Worf's gone, he looks for him and says, I want to ask you a question about my son. And we never do get to see what the question is, but I presume is he happy? Does he have friends? Is he fitting in? Do you like him?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like I'm sure that Worf doesn't tell them much. Like it doesn't really tell anyone much. And they seem like very loving, very caring parents who just want to know more about him. Yeah, I think you're right. So I think that's what's happening there. He just wants to check in that his baby boy is liked and well adjusted and has friends because he won't tell him himself.
And Jordy's like, what? No more funny Worf stories? We're getting serious? All right. Now we're back in La Barre. This is a very pretty shot. And they're about to have an uncomfortable argument at dinner.
As
That's how
families
you
do.
know they're really family.
Yes, exactly. What are they having? Soup. And of course, we get a 47 reference. Picard says, what is this? The 46? And Robert says, nope, the 47. That synthahol junk is ruining your palate. So then they argue about synthahol. And then they argue about life being too convenient. And then Marie says she wants a replicator. And Robert says no. And Picard says, oh, I've heard the same argument between mother and father lots of times. And then the brothers are really ramping up for it. See, look, he's mad. Nobody likes this. And Robert is just like, he really is being a dick here, though. Truly. He's pushing buttons. He's trying to have a fight.
Yeah, he's a grumpy old man.
He
Like
is.
your dad was.
Yeah. A grumpy old man.
Yeah.
And see, now, one is going to help everything.
I have a feeling that he wanted more than to do what he's doing, but felt he had to keep up the vineyard and is mad that Picard got to go off and do what he wanted to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. And just that resentment, even though he does love his way of life and his vineyard and everything, that resentment that he had to do that.
Yeah.
Has built up.
Without help. Because Picard took off to follow his dreams.
That's right. Yeah, I think.
And I like that conversation too, that how they're talking about like tradition, right? Keeping that tradition alive with the vineyard, but integrating conveniences like the replicators into their daily life. So it's that fine balance of embracing the future, yet holding on to your past. And how can you do that well? And I think Picard does it well in that he's always interested in learning and knowing and trying and seeing new things. But I'm thinking his brother's kind of stunted by the fact that this is the tradition, this is the way, this is how we should remain. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's kind of a human response to a lot of things when change is upon us.
Yes, and that specifically does come up in the conversation and with Louis and Picard. Louis says, you've always looked to the future and your brother to the past. And Picard says, I think there's room for both in this life. Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah, but absolutely. That's what they're arguing about here at the dinner table. And things are getting more and more heated until Marie says, this is a very old argument. And Robert softens and says, you're right, it is. Well, maybe not right then, he softens. Nothing right here. And then Picard softens a little too. And then Renee says, I wrote a report about the stars. And Picard said, so did I. And Renee says, I won a ribbon. Did you? And Picard says, oh, I don't remember. And then Robert starts in again. Oh, your false modesty rings. It doesn't ring true. You won every ribbon. You won everything. And then Marie says, why don't you go get your report and show it to your uncle, Renee? Poor Marie, this is rough. Her husband and her brother love her and everybody at the table, and she's got to keep the peace. It's rough. And Robert is constantly making this face.
Yeah.
Perkins is upset by the familial.
She's sad about it. It's like, you don't need to be sad.
Don't be sad. Yes. So
don't be sad for you.
Picard is still contemplating. And then next we see him walking in the vineyard with Louis, having this conversation that we were just discussing about the past versus the future. And Picard is telling him that he's kept up on the studies, and they talk some technobabble, which Patrick Stewart delivers flawlessly, which is very fun to see. And again, with the flowy V-neck, I love this. Like teal moment. Oh,
look at how good this color is on Patrick Stewart.
Mhm.
He's so handsome, my God. And like you don't see him like laugh and smile like this a lot on the show. And he's just kind of relaxed in the sunshine and his flowy teal vibe. And I'm here for it. Gorgeous.
Mhm.
No wonder Marie fell for him.
That's right.
And Louis is also wearing a flowy number, but not quite as becoming as Patrick Stewart. And they talk about, well, and Louis kind of like railroads him here, like, oh, well, if you're interested, I'll send over pages and pages of documents and everything, and then we'll have a meeting and you can do all of this. And Picard's like, okay, I guess.
It was just a partial Borg.
Yeah.
I mean, he's interested to read the papers because he is fascinated by this stuff.
Absolutely. I feel like Louis presses it upon him too when he shows even a little bit of interest, but definitely the science nerd in Picard is stoked to read these papers.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the Rashenkos and their son drinking mystery tubes in 10 Forward. And they're having a very cute conversation. And were they talking about roquette blood pie here? I don't remember.
No, I think that came a little bit later.
She talks to Guinan about that.
Right. So what are they talking about here? Do you recall?
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't know either. I think they're like chit-chatting about how nice it was to see the ship and how he serves with good people. And then Riker calls him to go look at phaser results or something.
Yeah.
And then they're concerned about him because of the discommendation and everything. And they look after him. And then, of course, Guinan steps in to speak to them. I love
I think
Guinan.
that's what they were talking about, the decombination. That's what they were talking about at the bar.
Oh, the three of them together?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Guinan calls them over and introduces herself. And, of course, the clip I played at the top of the show.
There's something I would like to ask you. Please. How come you never gave him prune juice?
Prune
Of all
juice.
Things.
Of all things. And they're like, what?
Huh?
And Mom's like, he would never eat anything that was human.
Right. And she says, well, he loves it. It's a warrior's drink. And they say, he had to learn about his culture himself. And I learned how to make roquette blood pie, but we never learned how to eat it. Guinan smiles wisdomously. What is this device in the middle of the table?
A game?
For ambient music.
Ah, it's a 24th century Google Home. So I don't remember exactly the rest of the details of this conversation, but I think it's along the lines of you're good parents and you've done a great job and he's a good guy and he's okay. And they're like, super. Thanks, Guinan.
More than they'd hear from Worf.
Right.
Yes. This is it. If you won't talk to your parents, they'll just ask everyone you work with and everyone you know.
A holographic menu display.
Yes. Good call.
I like that.
Yep. So here's Picard reviewing all the documents that Louis sent over. And in comes Marie in this extremely unflattering smock to discuss what Picard's looking at. And she says, but you'd never leave Starfleet. And he said, no, I'll never leave Starfleet, or would I?
And then she's like, it would be nice to have you closer.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, the plot
and now
thickens.
we know why. And then Robert comes in.
Ruining the moment.
Of course.
Yeah. Cock blocker.
Yep. Louis comes in and Marie makes herself scarce. And now they talk about being offered, Picard's being offered a position as director of this project. And he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And Louise says, well, just meet with him. Just meet with the guy. What harm can it do? And Picard says, all right. And Robert's listening in the other room, right? He's eavesdropping. And so they decide that Picard's going to meet with the director of this project. And he seems interested, cautiously.
I think he's interested in the science. I don't think he's actually so much interested in the position and remaining on Earth and doing stuff with the ocean as he is scared to go back into space.
Yeah.
After everything. Yeah. I think he pauses with this because he thinks it would be safer. After everything I've done, it would be safer to just remain on Earth and play in the ocean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and never have to go back.
Yeah.
Now we see Crusher with her little chip telling Wesley about it and about what's on it. And this is a really sweet scene. Wesley looks so hopeful. It's very brief.
I struggled with this stuff in this episode.
Why is that?
It felt thrown in and not fully realized. It feels like it's something that they thought about for an episode and then went, oh, let's just tack it into this because it's about family.
Mm-hmm.
Also, watching it post season 3 of Picard just made me more angry with season 3 of Picard. It just reminded me of all the Crusher, Wesley, Jack Crusher stuff in season 3 of Picard, and I was mad again.
Yes.
So I was just so tuned out of this stuff.
Right. I never thought about it from that perspective, but I can see why you would feel that way. Because I know we've discussed before too that you weren't crazy about how all of that stuff was handled. Yeah. What about you, Allison? What do you think of this bit?
It did feel thrown in, but it felt like a sweet moment too. And it seemed like they were just trying to tie a few of the members that were tied to Earth and have some kind of familial bond or kind of like a reunion. If it's not really a reunion with his dad, it's a hologram, but just to have those connections made again.
Right. It definitely, I would have liked to, if they were going to do that story, I would have liked to have seen it have more time than a couple of little scenes interspersed throughout this episode for sure. But I do like what ended up in the episode. I think it gave...
I feel like Jack's message just didn't have a big enough impact, maybe. It just... It to me, it felt like it was missing something.
Yeah.
But then at the other, and to give the other perspective too, it's like he didn't know, he thought he was going to be able to make more videos for him too, right?
Yeah, that was for sure. It was he was just a new dad that was just sort of sharing what was on his mind. Yeah. And I tried to argue that with my own brain when I was watching it, but I still was like, it just felt flat and lackluster. There was just something missing in it for me.
I like that he mentioned that he was like, I'm looking at you, my 10-week-old son, and I'm like, I don't know the first thing about being a dad. And I think that's like a recurring theme every generation, right? It's our first time being alive. So your first time being a parent, you're like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I thought that was really sweet.
But also, Wesley was 7 when Jack Crusher died. Or,
was he?
Right? He was older. Why is there only one thing? He did it once when he was 10 weeks old. He's like, I'm going to do more of these, and then never.
They couldn't cram any more into the episode. Only time for one.
I don't know how old he was when Jack
He was
Crusher died,
5.
but I think
He was 5.
5.
So he had 5 more years to make more and didn't. That's why it feels flat to me. He's like,
It was like
Okay.
my endeavor into scrapbooking. I bought things and then I went, no.
Well, you know,
a great
it's
idea.
the ADHD thing. He's
it's
like, I'm gonna
canon.
do
Jack
this.
Crusher has
Side quest.
ADHD.
Side quest.
Okay, so then Worf is examining his hair in a vanity mirror that he has set up next to his inscrutable chair with which to peer at himself, apparently. This is a cool
How
shot.
his hair is so luxurious.
Thing. Yeah, but like he has the mirror set up next to his chair for viewing himself. I love this. I want a weird chair with a viewing mirror.
That's how he keeps his hair and beard so perfectly groomed at all times. That is a very important thing for warriors to do.
I understand. They have to sit in the weird chair and peer at themselves.
I love his chair.
Yeah.
I would absolutely put one of those in my house. I have always loved that chair.
But would you have a viewing mirror next to it?
Sure, why not?
You have to. Then you could groom.
Exactly. That would be my grooming chair.
Yes. And
It's a it's a warrior's mirror.
yes, it is.
I want
You're
one.
correct. It's Worf's
That's where he watches Riker and Deanna.
That's correct. You know what? I'm getting so many good headcanons out of this episode. This is wonderful. So Worf, he's like, oh no, my cup chair. My parents can see my cup chair.
Forgot to put that away.
That's what the mirror is for.
Yeah. Usually he throws a sheet over it when people come to visit, but he was surprised. So now they're talking about, are you happy? Are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm great. I love you. Thanks, parents. I'm pretty sure that's the gist of this conversation.
And schematics.
Yeah. Oh, yes, of course. And he's happy. You can tell he's making a happy face. And now they're hugging. So nice. This is the Klingon hug. Now, Picard is into the 47. He's drinking it 2 glasses at a time. When Robert comes in from outside with a bouquet for Marie and then starts getting on Picard's case and giving him a hard time. I forget about what. Doesn't matter. Do we know what they start arguing about here? Do we remember?
Is this
Probably about him going
no?
off.
Yeah, because Riker or Picard is talking about. Has he started talking about some of the stuff that happened, and then Robert just kind of like brushes it aside?
Oh, right. He's Robert says what happened up there, and Picard says, "Well, you know what happened," and Robert says, "Well, I know the broad strokes of it, but not the specifics. What happened? You were used and degraded and humiliated. I always thought you could stand to be humiliated a little." And Picard is rightfully very upset by that and gets up and walks out. And then Robert follows him out, continuing to give him shit. And Picard, understandably, does not care for this. And
Well, I wonder if Robert really knows the extent of what happened, or he was just given sort of a whitewashed, because I don't think he would have said something like that to him if he knew how many people died because of everything, right?
I agree. I think that he would know the broad strokes because, you know, everybody would know on the Federation newswire or whatever, you know, he's a very famous person. So they would know that he had been taken captive by the Borg or whatever, like you say, whitewashed version of it that the Federation press chose to put out. But he certainly wouldn't have known the extent of it because that is it's one thing to like push buttons, but that would be so cruel if he knew what truly had happened and still chose to say things like that, you know?
Yeah, here.
But
I agree with this.
yeah, I doubt the
I don't
Federation
think-
citizens know what really happened.
I don't think they would give the whole story. And I definitely don't think that they would tell all the Federation citizens that their most decorated captain, the captain of their flagship, was assimilated and allowed Wolf 359 to happen.
Yeah.
Like, that is the reason that all of that, and so many people died because I just, that absolutely was redacted and was not spread to everyone.
Yeah, I agree. So Robert just keeps pushing his buttons here, and Picard calls him a bully. Said, "You were always a bully." And Robert says, "Well, maybe sometimes I liked bullying you. I enjoyed it." And then Picard pops him one. Now they're still yelling at each other a little bit. And then Picard...
There you go. Over the barrel. Good
Now,
screen grab there.
this is a good fight scene. And I like that it's Patrick Stewart, but not the other guy for some of it. The other guy has a stuntman come in. Even just like the light rolling around in the mud, the other guy's like, "I'm 1,000 years old. You got to get a stunt guy for this."
I will break a hip. Please don't make me do this.
Do not make me tumble over this barrel, please. So they tussle around in the mud, and they're really kind of smacking each other around and rolling around, which is what I imagine Dave Mater and his brothers are doing right now, which is why Dave's not on the podcast. And then they finally kind of like realize they're being ridiculous and start laughing. Fighting turns to laughing, turns to tears. And this scene is so moving. Picard finally breaks down and feels what truly the magnitude of what has happened to him, and tells Robert what had happened with the Borg, how he was assimilated and used as an instrument to kill people and lay waste to dozens of ships and cause so much damage. And
the fact that he could remember everything, right? He was cognizant of everything that happened.
And he says, I tried to stop them. I wasn't strong enough. I wasn't good enough. And it's just heartbreaking. Even if you are not a longtime viewer of the show, you can still feel the emotion and the pain in this scene.
Yeah.
He's such a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And after he tells Robert what happened and he cries it out a little bit, Robert says, "Well, you're going to have to learn to live with it, and you can learn to live with it down under the ocean with Louis or up above the clouds in the Enterprise where you belong." And then they get up and decide to have a muddy hug and sing some French songs. And this, okay, I hope this is one of the nitpicks that you have, because no, this is not how footprints work. This is what Marie's saying. How did you make puddles of mud to look like footprints? And they're like, do, di, do, 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 français, chanson, do, 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 which is not any French song. Let's be clear.
They don't have any sonic showers in this villa?
No.
Like,
Robert says absolutely
They
not.
can't-
No sonic showers, no convenience,
they can't
no
even
water.
They can't even hose down outside. I'm on her side.
Gotta bring it in.
No
They're
hoses.
just bringing all that mud in there, and they don't even have like ensigns to clean all that up. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And yeah, this was cute though, that they're both like, I don't know, nothing. We're good boys. Sorry, love you, sorry.
Nothing to see here.
drunk on the 47, wrapped up in a blanket, singing French sea shanties or whatever. And she's like, no way, boys. I like that she's truly irritated, but takes a very boys will be boys attitude about it since they hated each other a couple hours ago. So, you know, progress.
Progress.
And Picard's like, okay, well, I must be going now.
She probably grew up with brothers and knows what's going on.
Yeah. They're past the fighting point and now they've made up and it's time to get drunk and sing. And he's like, I love you and I love our son. I mean, my nephew. Okay, bye.
I'm so proud that he also wants to join Starfleet and keeps getting ribbons on his papers.
Mm-hmm. So many ribbons. He's following in my footsteps. And then we see Wesley. Okay, this is the nitpick for me. Load program Crusher 1. Really? That's the first program he has in the holodeck. He doesn't have any other programs.
Well,
Seriously.
maybe it's Jack Crusher 1.
He definitely doesn't have any more in the holodeck.
No.
So Wesley looks on with trepidation as he's not sure what he's about to hear from his long dead father. And he goes in the holodeck and he sees his dad. And Jack Crusher.
Nitpick.
Yeah.
His comm badge is wrong.
Yes, it is.
For that uniform. Also, where is his turtleneck? Why is he wearing the jacket only?
Jack Crusher has ADHD.
Yeah, right.
He couldn't find the turtleneck. He's like, oh my God, I'm late.
Grabbed whatever he could.
I'll just put the jacket on. It's fine. It's not regulation. It's all right. It'll be fine. So Jack makes a little speech about how, the one thing that really got me from this was, in your face, I see every person I've ever loved. I thought that was so sweet. And I'm sure felt very moving to Wesley as well. I feel like it was hard. This would be like a hard scene to do for both actors because they don't really this is the one time you see Jack Crusher and they don't really have a connection, but I thought they did a good job. And on the bare holodeck too, he just freshly shagged Beverly and tossed on the coat to record a message. That sounds about right. So we have handsome young Jack Crusher talking to his father. And when Wesley looks down at his uniform and is like, hey, yeah, I have one too, Dad.
I'm here.
I'm wearing mine correctly.
Yes. Mine didn't come with a turtleneck, but I see nor did yours. And Wesley is sad that he didn't get to know his dad, and then he reaches out to touch him, but Dad's gone. And we're back in the program. No, he disappeared. Jack made it like that for maximum
sadness. The message only
impact.
plays once, and then it combusts.
Yes, that's correct.
Charlie's Angels.
Set it up like that.
This will self-destruct.
And now the Picard family is seeing Jean-Luc back off to the stars. He's cleaned up somehow, and Robert has his high pants on. They've canceled the meeting with Louis.
How come he has his uniform? He didn't go down in uniform.
No, he didn't.
And they don't have
Another
a replicator there.
Yeah. He passed
Maybe it was in the
tiny little tube.
Yeah, he had it in the tiny
suitcase.
tube.
That's why he couldn't take those extra 3 books.
That's right. He had to put his uniform in there. Maybe he had one of those like camping towels that scrunches down into a little tiny disc.
Just add water.
Just add water. They definitely have those Starfleet issue scrunch uniforms. I'm sure of it.
I like it.
Another headcanon for today. And Renee's little bowl cut. Look at him, little biscuit. He's so cute. Until you said it earlier, Ashley, I didn't realize that that's the same actor who played young Picard in Rascals. I want my daddy. So good. I love it. And then Picard says, I hope you'll join me in the stars, Uncle. And Renee's like, yeah, I love you, Uncle Father. And
Nephew father.
and Robert says, here's another bottle of the 47, and manages to get a little dig in at him. Make sure you don't drink it all at once. Make sure you don't drink it all alone, because I know you're a loser.
Got to get that bullying in one more time.
Yeah, one more little bully dig at him before he goes. And Picard says, okay, bye. I love you. No, they don't say I love you, but they do hug. And Robert makes a sad face of love, which is a lot of emotion for such a man.
For a grumpy old man.
That's right. And then Picard walks off into the sunset, and we're back into the space hug. And Worf sees his parents off. And he says, I would love it if you would send me some of your roque egg blood pie. And then Picard is coming back just as the Roshenkos are leaving. And do they tell a little story about Worf here to Worf's dismay and the captain? I don't think so. I think the captain
the captain asks if he had the full tour, and then Sergei starts saying, oh no, because of the retrofit we couldn't, and starts asking if he can see more stuff, and Worf is like, let's go, off you go, Dad.
Off you go. Scoots him along. And then he does get in the fact that he has all the specs and diagrams one last time before the door closes. And Picard is like, oh, God. See you later.
No, Picard has a little smile. He's like, I'm the same way with ships, because he is.
He is, for sure. And then this lovely little coda where the Picards are having dinner and they're saying it's getting late and Renee is still outside. Should we call him in, Marie says. And Robert says, no, let him dream. And then we see Renee outside under the stars dreaming of one day commanding a starship like his uncle. The end.
Oh,
Such
very
a
sweet episode.
Maybe
it
he
is,
should
yeah.
be dreaming about how to use a fire extinguisher.
Oh no!
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so now I believe we've got
Is Adam coming in for
I
fun
believe
facts?
Adam is joining us for fun facts, but I'm just checking here because he joined a second ago, but it says they will need to connect their mic cam before you can add them to the stream. So
do so.
So Adam, if you're listening, please connect your mic and or cam so we can have some fun facts. Was that Perkins again?
Yes. Just making all the noises tonight.
Okay, here we go. Well, let me see if I can, while we're figuring things out, let me see if I can get the spreadsheet up here so we can get our ratings once we see Adam.
So Ashley, what would you rate it as?
Oh, this episode gets a 9 from me for sure.
A 9 for you. Yeah, it's a terrific episode.
It's
great. What prevents it from being a 10 for you?
I mean, it's up there as one of my favorite TNG episodes. It's not the best TNG episode, I don't think. And I wouldn't say it's amongst the best of all Star Trek. Like I said, the Jack Crusher stuff feels a little thrown in. It just doesn't, to me, go with the rest. Like, I understand what they were going for, but it just didn't land for me. So probably that is what brings it down a little bit. But I love the episodes where you get to learn more about the characters, and you don't get a lot of those in Next Generation. Like, that's what I love about Deep Space Nine, is all the character arc and all the backstory and all of that stuff. With all they really do a really good job of developing the characters, and so I like when we get TNG episodes where they develop characters. It isn't a lot of big showy battles and stuff. It's just character. You just learn about your favorite people.
Hello, Adam. Welcome.
Hey, guys.
Have you got some fun facts for us?
No, I was just joining to say hello and thinking you did a good job, Heather, as your first time.
Thank you.
I'm trying to get my audio working here better. 1 second.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, I'm going to put up our... I can hear myself echoing on your audio, Adam. Let's we'll put Ashley's 9 for family. Dave already added his 9.5. Thank you, Dave. I'm gonna give this is tough. I love this episode. I'm gonna give it a 9.5, and I'm only deducting the half point because of the footprints mishap. Allison, what's your rating?
Yeah, I'd say 9.5 too, because it's just a sweet episode and a lot of character building. Like, Worf and his parents were delightful, and seeing Picard back in his homeland is always an interesting place for him to go back to, right?
None of us can give it a 10 because of O'Brien's casual sexism.
Yes, that is correct. You're right.
This is 2026 after all.
Says, 9 at most, mainly Crusher brings it down, but the journey for Picard hits well. Then we have EJR says 9 for me. The Wesley stuff brings it down for me. So you're not alone in that, Ashley. Have we got any more ratings from chat? Adam, is your mic okay? Are you ready for some fun facts?
I am, actually. Sorry, guys. I have a bad cold and my throat is very sore. So Gene Roddenberry was not happy with the commissioning of this episode. He thought it was way too much like an episode of a soap opera and lacked any science fiction element. However, showrunner at the time, Michael Piller, received the backing from Rick Berman to go ahead and film it because he liked the way it would humanize Picard and give him some backstory after his traumatizing experience.
Well, Rick Berman finally did something I like. That's nice.
Rick Berman did a lot of good things.
He did a lot of bad things too.
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Not as much as Kurtzman has done, but where was I? So Roddenberry, I think he was on sort of the spiral at this point, protested at Paramount, who at this stage was already losing patience. So Paramount was already losing patience with Roddenberry and the constant interference in the show's production. He had already been banned from all the sets of the film's franchise some years earlier after complaining to the studio. After his complaints, Paramount decided to force the already ill Roddenberry to take a backseat and take no other part in production process. He died just a year later after this episode's broadcast.
Wow.
Yeah. This episode not only revealed personal information about some of the season regulars, but Chief O'Brien gained a full name. I think you guys said that earlier on. Yes. He's a Union man and a more defined rank at this point. He was a Chief Petty Officer. Though his rank, as Cindy would continue to change through the series, they never really knew what to make him.
Yeah.
This is the only episode in the whole series where Brent Spiner does not appear.
I didn't even realize. What was he doing? Was he on vacation, or he just wasn't in the episode?
Well, he's got a pretty big episode coming up.
Yes, he
Yeah.
does.
While not written or filmed until well after the completion of Best of Both Worlds, Family was popular in its own right, and became to be seen as the third part of Best of Both Worlds. It's one of the few times where the characters' families were introduced. Worf's parents, Picard's family. Although relaxed, a peaceful episode, it feels like 180 degree opposite from what we usually see. But I think they really nailed it. My opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to get some of the good one. Jack Crusher wears a lieutenant's uniform identical to that of the Enterprise C Lieutenant Castillo. I guess they borrowed it from him after he died.
Yeah,
They
but
missed
where
a
was
few
the turtleneck?
pieces.
Pardon?
They missed a few pieces. Where was his turtleneck? Still on the Enterprise C with Castillo, I guess.
After she previously appeared in Best of Both Worlds and Best of Both Worlds 2, this is the only time that Whoopi Goldberg guest starred in 3 consecutive episodes.
Oh. And they had her different outfits every time she appeared. Love it.
When Picard tells Robert that what he experienced at the hands of the board, part of his face is not covered in mud, which could also resemble the Borg implants at the time. I didn't ever catch that for the amount of times I've seen that episode.
No, me neither.
Yeah. Patrick Stewart was trying to get his friend Brian Blessed to play the part of Robert, but he didn't. And Blessed said he was not looking, he didn't look anything like Patrick Stewart, but he suggested Jeremy Kemp to fit the role. And Jeremy Kemp, he played a lot of Nazis through the years, and he was always a scary Nazi in that black uniform, with that look that you see in that face in that episode, because he plays that anger very well.
Oh, he played Robert.
Jeremy Kemp, yep.
Yeah, okay. I could see him playing a Nazi.
Yeah. I'm just looking for one more, Heather, to really nail it here. Give me a second.
Now, do you have any sexy fun facts? Because none of these were very sexy.
I could make
it's not
one
a very
up.
sexy episode, I guess, despite the Picard love child revelation that we've.
Well, I was thinking that Robert might be Picard's father.
Robert might be Picard's father?
That secret, like he was a 17-year-old and
Yes.
they kept it a secret.
Yeah.
I feel like in the future they don't care about such things.
No, probably they don't.
Not that we care about such things in this day and age.
But if I can just comment, you guys were commenting about the Jack Crusher, Wesley Crusher. Sorry, I totally agree with what you said. It felt bolted onto me, and it lacked the emotion that they could have given it. And and this is a true story. When my dad died, I was cleaning his office out after, and I found a letter that he wrote me the night of my birth, and and found a couple others through the years. But it was first time I'd seen it, and it was a very emotional moment. So I thought they missed on that. When I didn't feel like it was emotional.
I think it should have been more of a B story for an episode as opposed to a C story for an episode. Like they should have given it more time to really make it feel emotional, because it didn't really.
EJR mentioned in the comments that they should have thrown it into First Duty, because it would have been kind of cool in that.
Right.
Yeah.
That would have fit well in there.
Absolutely.
Wordline says, that's so soap opera. If Robert was Picard's father, Roddenberry would have died on the spot. And we also had another rating from chat, 10 for the purple hair.
So have you guys given your ratings? Can I give my?
We have, but let's have yours.
I love this episode, one of my favorites. However, it misses the mark on Wesley and Jack and Beverly. So I'm taking it to 8.5.
8.5. Adam, the lone dissenter.
No, you know what? I wish they didn't do that part. And it was so
Understood.
quick. It was just so quick at the end. You know, you just.
Mm-hmm.
If they had left that out, we could have had more emotional Picard.
Yes.
Exactly.
It didn't really have room to breathe. I don't disagree.
Oh, and
I would have liked
one
for a longer scene in the. I would have preferred to have a longer scene in the vineyard after they fight or when they're drinking.
It would have been
Then-
great for more description of what he saw, like you know, because he says, "I remember it all." But what do you remember? Tell us. The other thing that I would like to say is that when Louis is describing that the director wants to see Picard to, you know, take over the project, essentially get it organized, the director is basically giving his job to Picard because that's his job. You know, they're all disorganized. They can't get things straight, and they need Picard. They need you. We want you. So funny.
He must be retiring or something.
It must be. Can't get his shit together.
Well, on that note, we can see that our average rating was 9.2 compared to IMDb's 8.3. 8.3? Are you crazy, IMDb?
Well, it's like calling me crazy, but yes.
Well, I think that we all thoroughly enjoyed this discussion. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, everyone in the chat. And thank you, Adam, for your fun facts, none of which were sexy, but can be forgiven for this episode.
I could have made one up that would have been really sexy if I had more time. I'm sorry.
Worldmud says if you'd like to see some more Star Trek content, they're talking Wrath of Khan with Captain Dave Mater on Hey, Did You See This One, which is live now. So you can head on over there. Next week on Live Long and Podcast, we are reviewing Brothers on Thursday, April 16th. Data is summoned by his creator, Noonien Soong. They are joined by Data's brother, Lore. It's a wonderful time. We get to see Brent Spiner play every part in every episode. It's going to be so fun.
He needed a week off to get ready for that, you know.
Yeah. That's true. He does have a lot of heavy lifting to do next week. And it's so fun.
See, he got his family reunion as its own episode.
Mm-hmm. You're right. They could have tacked Wesley on in there and people would have hated it twice as much as they hated it in this episode. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us this evening. Thank you to our panelists. Thank you to everyone in the chat. And as always, live long and podcast. Now, give me 2 minutes to figure out how to do this outro and keep doing our end transmission sign. See, I could have just done it. It would have been so slick and cool. Good job, me. Well done, everyone. Good night.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, Did You See This One? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.
Great job, Heather.